The ultimate tease in the motorbike world, Yamaha, is at it again. After teasing us with the grand Tenere 700 for almost 4 years before unveiling it last November, they have now announced prices and availability, but only for Europe. Now, we've done an in-depth analysis of the Tenere 700 while comparing it to its closest competitor, the KTM 790 Adventure, and you can watch that by clicking above. Why is the 790 Adventure its closest competitor? Well, because they are both brand new bikes, they weigh around the same, should have similar pricing, and they cater for the same mid-weight adventure class. So let's see how the chessboard has arranged itself after Yamaha's price announcement. Get your motorbike news in a pleasant way. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Now, in our previous analysis, we weren't the kindest to the Tenere 700, and there were a few good reasons for that. Firstly, the long teasing time. Now, if I know I'm gonna have a brilliant adventure ride the next day, I can hardly sleep the night before, so imagine the nightmare the die-hard Tenere fans have been going through for the past 4 years. Secondly is the fact that after all this time in the works, the bike really doesn't bring anything new or innovative to the table compared to existing or soon to be released bikes. No rider aids, no riding modes, no traction control, not even tubeless tires. And I know what you're gonna say, this stuff is really not important and sometimes you are better off without it on a bike. And I agree with that to a certain extent. A bike that is meant to conquer the desert should not be loaded up to the brim with electronics and other toys. But there are two problems here. Most of us are not gonna conquer the desert, so there's no point in tailoring a bike for the 10 people that are actually going to do a Trans-Africa on it. And secondly is price. If you are gonna take all of this technology away from the bike, then I want it cheaper than the bikes that actually do have it, like a lot cheaper. If this bike went for sale for a maximum of $7,000, then I would retract everything that I've moaned about and it would probably be one of the hottest mid-adventure bikes around. But it's not. Yamaha has released the price for the European segment and we were pretty close with our estimation. The bike will be available in European dealerships for 9,700 euros, which if you work out directly to US dollars would be around $11,000. But as taxes differ from country to country, we will see different pricing once it's available in the US. There is one surprise that Yamaha has sprung for us, and that is a 400 euro discount if you order the bike online. This is the same pre-order nonsense that Harley-Davidson is pulling with the Livewire by asking you to actually purchase the bike before seeing it or before any independent reviews are out in the wild. To make a comparison, this pre-order has been happening in the video games industry for years, and it has generally brought the quality of games down while making unscrupulous amounts of money for the publishers. They rely on special pre-order deals and add-ons which sway customers instead of actual reviews. I really hope this does not catch on in the motorcycle world, because making an $11,000 mistake because of a $500 discount is gonna be a lot more difficult to swallow than wasting $60 on a video game. So, as stated before on this channel, the Tenere 700 is around $1,500 cheaper than the KTM 790 Adventure, while not really offering enough to convince you not to shell out the extra cash. If it was, let's say, 20 to 30 kilograms lighter, then yes, it would have been a completely different beast off-road, more maneuverable, easy to pick up. But it's not. It basically weighs the same as the KTM at 205 kilograms, maybe a couple of kilograms less, so it's gonna handle exactly the same off-road. There's no breakthrough here, and with the T7, Yamaha is only relying on the success of previous Teneres. The only difference being that nowadays there is a lot more choice in the hot mid-adventure segment. If you live in Europe, the pre-order system opens on March 27 and runs through July. You will receive your bike before it arrives at dealerships, otherwise it will be available in Europe from September this year, while US riders will need to wait until the second half of 2020 to get their hands on one. One thing is for sure, US riders will be a lot better informed than early adopters in Europe before making their purchase. But I could very well be wrong about all of this, and the T7 could be one of the most stellar bikes both off-road and on-road. I would actually just blame it all on Dave. Seriously now, this is one of the bikes that I'm most excited to review when one will be available, so make sure you're subscribed to see that. Also, if you haven't seen our previous Tenere 700 video where we go in depth with all of the specs and put it head to head with the 790 Adventure, I will be putting that on the end cards at the end of this video. So that's the show for today, everybody. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and if you consider you've learned something new, hit that subscribe button to catch more of our videos. Cheers, and I'll see you on Tuesday.